just in time for this Super Bowl 50 week. So we say hello to KXPS in Palm Springs, WDTX FM in Wausau, Wisconsin, and WVBE AM and FM in the Roanoke, Lynchburg, Virginia areas. Hello. Welcome to the Rich Eisen Show. Where you been? We've been on the air doing this thing ever since a couple of Octobers ago. This is our second Super Bowl. We're thrilled to be here in San Francisco. I will be on the air tonight at 8 o'clock Eastern Time for Super Bowl opening night. Yes, we're now even eventizing Media Day, which used to be in a sleepy part of the day, middle of the afternoon on the East Coast or late morning, wherever you were. On a Tuesday. Now it's on opening night, on Monday night. There's going to be a whole big to-do on NFL Network this evening. I'll be your host from the SAP Arena where the San Jose Sharks play their hockey. That'll be going down tonight. Eric Davis and Willie McGinnis will be in the show on our studio. That's this beautiful studio that DirecTV and AT&T has built for us, again, on the campus of the Presidio here in San Francisco. And joining me here now, 844-204-RICH is the number to dial. We'll take some of your phone calls as well this hour, is a Super Bowl champion from the New York Giants and my compadre from the NFL Media Group and NFL Game Day First, which is going to have a nice, ripe old time of kickoff at 4 a.m. on Sunday. Shaun O'Hara, good to see you.
Hi, Rich.
Are you ready for that wake-up call on Sunday?
I'm going to be actually on game day morning. I'm going to be doing hits throughout.
Okay, great.
We're not doing
game day first
this year.
Oh, because it's too early.
Exactly.
Got it. All right,
which I like being first.
You got a reprieve.
Being first is kind of cool. So yeah, we'll get a little extra hour. So I'll be nice and chipper.
That's good.
But it'll be a pretty nice little Sunday.
Now we also have on our set today an old friend of yours.
Yeah.
Happens to be named the Vince Lombardi Trophy. That bad boy right there. What is it like, Shaun?
Hi, Vincey.
Yeah.
I missed you.
What is it like picking that baby up and holding it up in the air?
You know
Shaun?
what? I'll never forget the moment. And actually, Doug Williams brought the trophy out, after you win it.
That's right.
The confetti's coming down, and then everybody kind of lines up like a little gauntlet. And then
that was the first year I believe they did that, Shaun.
Yeah, it was really
to
cool.
present the trophy of somebody who's won it before. I'm getting goosebumps even talking about it.
Yeah.
Walking through and you reach over and you grab it, right? You touch it as it's
yeah,
brought
it's
through
almost
to the podium.
like a fumbling drill. Everybody's trying to touch it on the
right.
way up.
Right.
And Doug Williams, you can see. All of a sudden he's got a death grip on it because you're trying to make it up there.
Right.
But it really, it's really cool. I love the Stanley Cup tradition and how all the players get their day with it. I think the NFL should adopt that. Mm-hmm. Like, how great would it be to be able to have a day with that and just take it wherever you wanted to go, do whatever you wanted to do. My great Lombardi story is Super Bowl 42, the confetti comes down, you're hugging your teammates, then you immediately try to find your family. So I found my wife, who was my fiance at the time, my whole family, they're all up in the stands. I pull them all down. They all jump into my arms. I bring them down onto the field. Mm-hmm. And we're trying to take a family group photo. And we get everybody lined up. My dad's missing. Can't find Big Dave. And all of a sudden, through the crowd, my pops shows up. He's got the Lombardi Trophy in his hands.
In his hands?
He stole it from one of my teammates and runs over for the family photo. So we've got my whole family, my wife, her family, and we're all sitting there holding the Lombardi Trophy that my dad basically pilfered from one of my teammates.
Did you ever find out who he took it from?
I don't know. It was probably Strahan. He probably knocked his tooth loose or something, and then swindled it over. So it was a cool moment for the O'Hara clan.
Yeah, and speaking of Strahan, his name is going to be mentioned quite a bit this week, similar with Jerome Bettis, similar with Ray Lewis.
Yeah.
Obviously, the man who is shopping for the groceries in Denver with John Elway because of Peyton Manning's opportunity here. To win it and then ride off into the sunset.
Does anybody deserve to ride off into the sunset more than Peyton?
I hear you.
Just thinking about his career, what he's meant to the NFL. When you think about somebody doing it the right way, doing everything the right way, it's been Peyton, and he's been such an ambassador. I've gotten to know Peyton a little bit through Eli, so to see him, if he has a chance to win the game. I think it'll be different for him, though, and you could see this year he's been different. You've seen him.
Yeah, I know.
It's not the same Peyton.
Well, we were talking about it. I was talking about that with Dan Patrick in the last hour because of just the way it feels like the weight of the world that normally even wears on his face, his body language in the playoffs is gone. It doesn't seem like he has that, and I don't know if it's because he thinks this is his last time and he's going to take it all in, or the defense is there and he doesn't feel like he's got to do it all, or he just has the physical limitations and he just understands, you know what, I'm not the same guy anymore. I'm just going to go out there and do my best and wing it around. The question I have for you about all this, though, Shaun, is nobody ever thought that he could be in this opportunity, certainly based on what he went through in the second half of the season when he wasn't even the starting quarterback, based on whether we thought he was, you know, benched or not. How do you think he is going to perform in Super Bowl 50 against that defense?
It's a great question, and we spoke a couple weeks ago before the championship game.
Yes, we did.
And you know, I remember you and I talking about how I thought his arm looked pretty good, and it's really just the accuracy that has been the issue with him. You know, I think for Peyton, you know, looking back at his last 2 Super Bowls, he's thrown a pick 6 in his last 2 Super Bowls.
Yes.
And he's never thrown more than 1 touchdown. So I think for Peyton, you mentioned it, it's a different Peyton because I don't think he feels like I've got to do this on my own. Mm-hmm. And I think 2 years ago when he faced Seattle, that offense was different. It was, you know, they were riding or dying with Peyton. And he, you know, they were flustered from the get-go. So I think for Peyton, he's got a little bit left in him. And I think Emmanuel Sanders is the guy that I think he's looking to go to.
Oh, you're giving me an X factor right now.
Yeah,
Shaun.
I'm giving you an X factor.
I didn't even solicit an X factor from you, and you gave me an X factor.
Yeah,
that's next level stuff out of you, Shaun.
I'm a walk on. A former walk on. I got to do a little extra.
I like that, yeah.
So you know when they ask you to do a little bit, I do a little more. But
right.
I think Peyton's gonna take a couple deep shots, and I know he hears everything everybody says.
He does, doesn't he? Right?
Oh, he does, absolutely, and he hears that everybody's saying that he can't throw the ball down the field, that his arm is gone. He hears all that. But you mentioned the fact that he's finally healthy. Mm-hmm. He wasn't himself earlier on. He was battling through some stuff. So I think Peyton, he's so good at the line of scrimmage, and that's one of the things that he doesn't get credit for. When you go in on Monday and watch the film, and you say, man, how did you see that blitz? How did you know? And he'll say, well, you know what? I noticed that the safety's left shoe was a little bit untied, and I knew that he was going to – I mean, he pays that attention to the detail. You can't get away with anything defensively. He's gonna figure it out.
Shaun O'Hara, Super Bowl champion, NFL Network analyst, at Shaun O'Hara 60 on Twitter here on the Rich Eisen Show. That said, though, I mean, how do you hunt for either one of these quarterbacks? How do you let's put it the other way? How do you protect them from your aspect? Both of these quarterbacks with these defenses that can go hunt.
That's really this game is
this is it, right? Isn't that what
it's going to come down to the Mollyhawkers? Let's be honest. That's why you got me on this show.
Yes.
And you brought me in here, and you had me first. You said it starts up front with the chubby guys, right?
Is that yes?
Right.
That's why we
chubby,
got him
bearded
on.
guys stick together. I mean, we're not
why
scared.
are you looking at Law
always
when you say that?
We're not scared of Cashmere.
By the way,
we know that.
By the way, Law dressed both of you guys, both of you Bears. You came suited and booted because you're going to do NFL Network after this, right? You're going to go from one to the other.
I'm going to go to the St. Francis Yacht Club. Me and Judge Smells. We're going to go. We're going to go hang out and christen some flying.
It's easy to grin.
Yeah, the man worthwhile.
When your ship comes in and you've got the stock market beat. Yeah, that's I guess one of the NFL Network locations. This is.
We've got we're going to have a great backdrop. Really? So we'll be seeing that up.
Say hi to Judge Smells for me.
To your question,
Law's dressed in cashmere today too. He's very
he's very snuggly over there.
Very nice.
But the O-line, I mean, how do you protect Peyton? You know, Peyton was sacked quite a bit. So we're talking about the Denver Broncos pass rush, but really, it's the Broncos O-line. Can they protect him from this Carolina Panthers D-line? Because think about it. Rich, they hit Russell Wilson 14 times. Russell Wilson 14 times. I mean, he's a tough guy to get your arms around. They were able to hit him a lot. So I think that's going to be huge. And for Cam Newton, they run the ball so much more. So they're not going to throw the ball 56 times.
But their run sets, too, their run sets are really inventive. So, for instance, the touchdown that Ted Ginn scored against Arizona, coming off of the set where it was I think Tolbert faked to the left, Cam then faked to the right, flipped the ball to Ginn, and then that was. How do you even know where it's
next
coming
level
from? It is
stuff,
right.
And you bring up a great point because when you watch film on those different reads that Cam Newton does, it's not just the regular read option, the traditional read option that most defenses are facing. There's different versions of it. And I think that's how you slow down these defensive ends. DeMarcus Ware and Von Miller, if you can get them to guessing and slowing down, so now that they're not attacking your quarterback, that's what they want to try to do. And I think Mike Shula's done a great job with this offense. They're so creative. Even Philly Brown, they've done a lot of gadgets, a lot of reverses. It's really a fun offense to watch. And I know Ryan Khalil. He's another fellow chubby bearded guy.
Yes.
I know
he's a friend
loves,
of the program.
He loves this offense. You know, it's a fun offense to play for.
So who wins it? What do you got for me? What do you think when it's all said and done?
Rich,
By the way, you're the first prediction of the week.
I
6 days out.
I haven't made a decision yet. You know, I'm gonna brainstorm. I'll have coffee with Peyton.
Okay. When are you having coffee
I'll
with
go
Peyton?
have coffee with Khalil, and I'll get some insider.
Coffee with Khalil is a show that I would greenlight, by the way.
Yeah. I'm gonna ask him to wear his bear suit too. I think he's got a bear outfit.
So is this your way of tap dancing and not giving me an actual prediction?
I'm trying.
6 days
How
out?
am I doing?
No, you're doing terrible.
I'm doing the river dance.
No, well, actually, look, I mean, it's 6 days out. I understand. But, I mean, it's not like anything's going to change between now and Sunday.
I think Carolina is the more physical team on both sides of the ball.
Interesting.
So they're getting the edge in my mind right now because I look at how physical they are on offense and defense, but I also look at the two defenses they just basically ran through: Seattle Seahawks and the Arizona Cardinals. Two of the best defenses I think most people would say, in the NFL, aside from the Denver Broncos. So they were still able to put up an unbelievable amount of points. I don't know if Denver can match their offensive production.
Isn't that amazing? That the whole idea this year is who's Cam going to throw to? Where's this offense going to come from? And now here we are in the Super Bowl, and there is a legitimate storyline of how can Peyton Manning and the Broncos match Cam point for point if it comes down to that. And that is absolutely legitimate. And plus the number of times that I've been asked, even the last week, of like, what do you think is going to happen? What do you think is going to happen? We have no earthly idea. I did not see a Seattle blowout 2 years ago.
Right.
Okay. I also, as we all know, sitting here.
Number one offense Denver had that year, too.
Yes, that trophy that's here on the set, the ring that is on your hand right now that is blinding to me.
This whole thing?
You got it, but when somebody pinned a football, against the side of his helmet, Brockman, you need to look up because Shaun O'Hara would like you to see a certain ring that he has right here.
I was just going to read something off on here.
Yes, what does it say?
11 straight on the road.
Yep. What else does it say on that ring?
It says New York Giants 17, New England 14, February 3rd.
Now, are you saying Chris Brockman? Are you saying it should say on that ring, Shaun O'Hara was holding on the David Tyree?
Do we have to debate this every time?
Yes, we do.
You
won't admit you were holding, but that's fine.
You can't be accused of holding when it's somebody's trachea.
That's true.
It's not a jersey.
Now, but as you all know, though, New Englanders are the most aggrieved party in all of sports history.
Yeah.
There's always something.
Yeah, there's a conspiracy theory against them.
The Tyree catch, for instance. I mean, did Tyree have some sort of sticky substance on the side of his helmet, knowing that the ball may have come?
According to Saturday Night Live and Justin Timberlake, there was some bubble gum that was placed on the helmet that might have been an artificial substance, but. That game, too, the interesting thing with that is the Patriots had the #1 ranked scoring offense that year.
Right.
And you were talking about protecting the quarterback?
Yes.
That was assignment #1 that Tom Coughlin gave us. We came in Wednesday morning, not me personally, but if we want any shot at slowing down this offense and beating the Patriots, we've got to hit Tom Brady. It wasn't sack him. It was just get to him. Hey. Even if you run by and you just let him know, hey, we're coming for you. Because you ask any quarterback that comes on your show, sacks don't hurt. Quarterback hits do. When pressures hurt. When you're throwing the ball and you're getting hit, that's what hurts. Peyton Manning, I mean, when he takes a sack, he's not getting hurt. He's not getting hit. But it's when you get hit throwing the football, that's when you feel it.
Yeah, because you're in somewhat of an awkward position. You can't protect yourself. Manning, when he gets sacked, sometimes just slides underneath the sack half the time.
Yeah.
He just says, okay, I'm going to live for another day. Shaun, thank you for coming on this show, and again, looking so dapper as you have.
Oh, thanks, Rich. I try.
And on your way out the door, Brockman is right there, right across the set.
I was emulating your logo.
Yes, as you're running. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't.
I'm being chased by a trolley on our new show logo this time. Yeah.
He's pulled up the video of the play.
Yeah.
And has gotten a screen grab of you, and he's convinced that he's showing.
Okay,
it's fine. It's not a big deal, Shaun.
Are we going to show it? Or?
I'm over it.
No, we don't have to show it.
No,
we don't need to show it. We don't need to show it.
Do you check that ring on the flight? How does that travel? Do you wear that on the flight? Is that in a carry-on bag?
Did you check a Super Bowl ring?
No,
You
but
really
I don't know.
trust
Like,
TSA that much?
You don't wear that, right? On the flight out
I don't
here?
wear it, but I keep it on my person.
You keep it on your person. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So like if you're in seat 1 and you're
I don't
in the
wear.
bulkhead.
You know what? I don't wear it frequently. I mean,
no, but when you
do
bring, checking that ain't happening. But do you have you been stopped by TSA security saying what in the world is that monstrosity that's in your bag and you take it out? Has that ever happened?
Yeah, it's usually my CPAP machine.
Well, I'm sure that.
Yeah,
I have one of those
anybody
too.
that has sleep apnea knows what I'm talking
There you
about.
go.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah,
It's usually-
this thing kind of flies under the radar, but
Okay.
I don't always wear rings, but when I do, I prefer Super
I
Bowl
love that.
rings.
You sound like the most interesting man in the world right there.
I try.
Shaun, thanks for coming on. At Shaun
Thanks, Rich.
O'Hara, 60.
The Rich Eisen Show, weekdays at noon Eastern. On Audience.